Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has her genes.
What you just witnessed right there was one of a bunch of different ads that American Eagle had recently put out featuring actress Sydney Sweeney, who is well known for her chest parts. We're going to refer to them as chest parts in this particular video because this is a family show. And of course, this ended up triggering a massive overreaction from everybody on the internet, but especially those on the left wing who have now decided that this Sydney Sweeney American Eagle jeans campaign is actually fascist coded. It's actually promoting eugenics and neo-Nazism and whatever, because these people are just upset that American Eagle is moving away from the overweight models for their particular jeans, even though we've actually talked about the reason why companies are going back to the attractive people in their products model of advertising on this channel before. So we're going to break this whole thing down. We're going to talk about this. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money, okay?
Did American Eagle just run an ad for eugenics?
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
Totally just talking about denim, right? Just a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman explaining how her good genes gave her personality and purity. I mean, are we really going to pretend that this isn't a little fashy-coded? Look, I'm not saying that Sydney Sweeney personally wrote this ad to revive the Third Reich, but American Eagle absolutely knew what they were doing here. You don't get to drop lines about inherited traits, blue eyes, and great genes while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda poster and expect people not to catch that reference. Good genes used to mean racial purity in fascist circles, and now it's just denim marketing. We are watching fascist aesthetics sneak back into pop culture through fashion ads, tradwife influencers, and yes, now blue jeans. If you think this was an innocent ad, you have not been paying attention.
So I don't know how to say this in a polite way. I don't know how to say this in a kind way, but this woman right here is not very intelligent. She is not very smart. All they're doing with the American Eagle campaign is talking about genes and making you think, oh, maybe they're talking about genetics, but in reality, they're talking about pants that people be wearing. Look, I got jeans on right now, and they're using like basically a little tricky trick in the words in order to sell you on this particular product. And they're using Sydney Sweeney, who is an attractive girl known for her attractive chest. And the reason they're going in this direction is because a lot of people figured out in advertising that this whole idea of people needing to see themselves or representations of themselves in the products that they're buying doesn't actually end up assisting in sales in any way, shape, or form, and in fact actually backfires. On this channel, we covered before Victoria's Secret going in the direction of larger, more normal looking models as described by people in the mainstream media, plus size models, whatever you want to call them, obese women if you want to label them that. And in reality, this doesn't actually help people buy jeans because contrary to what the progressive intelligentsia thinks about you needing to see yourself represented in absolutely everything, that's not how imaginations work, and that's not how selling products work. As we talked about on this channel, certain products or certain brands have an aspirational value to them. So when you see an attractive woman like a Sydney Sweeney or a Victoria's Secret model, you don't think, oh, I'm never going to look like that, so I won't buy the product. You think, oh, if you're a woman, that person is sexy and they're attractive, and if I buy that product, even though this is ridiculous to some, I will feel sexy and attractive just by wearing it. And by contrast, when you end up loading up these particular advertisements with overweight people, with large people, you don't get the message that that product is for me. The people who are receiving those advertisements actually end up thinking in the back of their brains, in their subconscious, that American Eagle and of course Victoria's Secret before it, those are brands for fat girls. Those are brands for ugly girls, and I don't want to be a fat and ugly girl, so I'm not going to buy that brand. I'm not going to shop there anymore. And this is what these advertising companies are figuring out. I'm spoiling the end for you guys because we're going to go over a bunch of different videos where people call this fascist propaganda, where people say that this is backlash and going in the direction of fighting against DEI and supporting the evil orange man, that it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with sales, and it has everything to do with the fact that people have discovered over time that having unattractive people wearing your products in advertisements makes the people who would buy those products think that they will look unattractive if they are in them. That's the secret sauce right here, guys. That's what's actually happening right now. But of course, let's get into the left-wing conspiracies about how American Eagle, which sounds pretty fascist to these people already because it has America in the name, and of course the eagle, which is the symbol of America, are actually trying to lure in the evil white racist people because of evil white racism. And oh my god, it's so scary that there's evil white racists under every rock.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like fascist weird. Like Nazi propaganda weird.
So sometimes I think the world is just AI generated, everything is fake, everything is not real, and this is a perfect example of what we're talking about. Here you have an overweight woman who of course has a nose ring in her face. She has one of the extra woke LGBT XXIIP community flags behind her, and she's talking about how, oh, American Eagle, that's a brand for young girls, teenage girls, and young adults, and they're looking at these advertisements and they're going, yikes, this is horrible. This is terrible.
Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this? Probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda. I also am thinking about like all of the young girls who are doing their back to school shopping right now at places like American Eagle who are seeing ads like this. Yikes.
When in reality, the exact opposite is happening. Again, American Eagle is going for an aspirational brand. The reason they're choosing attractive people instead of overweight people is because they realize that attractive people actually sell product. Sydney Sweeney is the it girl in Hollywood right now. She is an attractive girl, even if she's not your personal preference. For all you gays out there that are going to say, oh, like she doesn't have a big enough butt like this guy did on twitter.com in order to bait for engagement or whatever you think is wrong with her. She is regarded as attractive right now, so they're using her to sell the product, and guess what? Young girls who want to feel attractive will buy product. This is how advertising works. Again, it is aspirational. It has nothing to do with the nazis. It's just a clever pun or a not so clever pun about how your genes are passed down, and guess what? Mine are blue, which is like, oh, she has blue eyes, but also the genes are blue. Like, it's not that complicated. It's not that serious. But of course, these are the exact people who for years have been influencing advertising, and guess what? They don't buy product. They don't consume product. They are the wrong people to advertise to, and the reason we know that is because all of these companies that went in that direction saw diminished sales as they tarnished their brand, as they became no longer aspirational, but as I said earlier on, the brand for fat girls, the brand for not attractive people.
Also, American Eagle is mostly a brand that like teenagers to like young adults shop at, and so the fact that like this type of advertising is being used that feels so for the male gaze and so over sexualized, like I just don't like it. I don't like it even a little bit.
Again, this woman is such a parody of a feminist complainer that I actually am not sure if this is a real person. This could be AI generated. It's the perfect AI model of what somebody would say. You get the mention of the male gaze right here. I don't know what the male gaze have to do with these particular genes. I guess male gaze might go out and buy female genes, but in reality, I think a lot of male gays would buy the genes in order to look like Sydney Sweeney because, you know, male gays tend to like more feminine clothing. But whatever, she brings that up. She's talking about the male gaze. I mean, maybe she has that on her mind because she has the trans is LGBT flag in her background or whatever. But as of right now, I don't see what her point is. I mean, again, she's like, I don't like it. It bothers you. And guess what? The advertisement is not for you. It's not for somebody who has to look into the hidden meaning and find reasons to be angry about stuff. It's for people that want to feel attractive. Again, brands are shifting back to the aspirational aspirational goal of said brands, and I think that's a good thing. A lot of people think that's a good thing. Now, of course, there's a whole other element to this where conservatives who were concerned about over-sexualization are now buying into this, even though obviously they're using somebody who is becoming basically a modern-day sex symbol in order to sell this. But in reality, we tried the unattractive people, we tried the unattractive brands, we tried selling them, and I'm talking about society, I didn't try selling them. We tried selling these unattractive people as the new sex symbols. That didn't work. That didn't cause people to buy things. So what we're seeing right now is the recognition that certain people are just attractive. Now, again, I know some of you gays out there, some of you absolute guys who like other guys are going to say that she's mid or whatever. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. You can recognize that somebody's not your particular favorite, most attractive person while also understanding that she is attractive and known for being attractive. Again, like, this is the boob girl. This is what she's known for. People watch that show Euphoria to see Sydney Sweeney without her shirt on, and they end up actually seeing an overweight girl go through a whole romance thing that you don't even want to see. Trust me, it's not worth it. I felt lied to with the advertisements for Euphoria, and of course you see Zendaya, who's just in everything for some reason.
Bro, and I haven't even mentioned the fact that this entire ad campaign that Sydney Sweeney is doing right now is incredibly reminiscent to the Brooke Shields Calvin Klein jeans ad campaign that she did when she was 14 years old. That was extremely over-sexualized and weird. Yeah. Why are we referencing that? Why are we referencing that? I thought we agreed that that was weird that they had her do that.
First of all, for the love of God, stop zooming in on your face. Just move the camera back, honestly blur it a little bit, put one of those 1960s television filters that, you know, like it's like Vaseline on the camera lens, so we don't actually have to zoom in on your face. And number B, to my point about this, is that, yeah, there could be a Brooke Shields ad. I just looked it up really quickly when she was 14. That seems a little weird, seems a little odd, seems a little not surprising for Hollywood in any way, shape, or form. But Sydney Sweeney is over 25 years old. Like, she's significantly older than Brooke Shields. And again, this ad is not really all of that sexualized, in my opinion. Like, you could take it that way, you could interpret that way, but in reality, some of the jeans that she's wearing are not even all that flattering on her in terms of how she looks below the waist. Now, again, the reason Sydney Sweeney is popular is because of her chest parts, as we are saying, because this is a family show, because we have the people out there that want to watch this with their whole entire family, and the actual Justice Warrior is really working at that. But this woman just fails to understand the point, and the reason for that is because this is like the 1% of people who likes the obese models, who wants to look at overweight people and think, oh, I could be a model, I'm just as pretty as Sydney Sweeney, when in reality, that is not the case. Some people are more attractive than other people. This is something that everybody has to encounter and discover throughout the course of their lives, so I'm going to break it to you guys. You're going to find somebody more prettyful than you, whether you're a girl or a guy. That just happens to be a fact. So just relax, chill out, don't worry about it.
So we got a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman talking about her good jeans in an ad campaign that is a reference to a 14-year-old Brooke Shields Calvin Klein's ad campaign that we've all agreed was really weird and predatory. Yeah, I don't like this one. I don't like it. I don't like anything about it, actually. Nope.
Now look, overall, I think the real lesson of this story is that people will get outraged over everything. This campaign is kind of doing exactly what it's intending, getting all these people to rage out and say, oh my god, these jeans they're now fascist or whatever, and add all this background political commentary, when in reality, all American Eagle is trying to do is take the current it girl, put her in the ad campaign, and hopefully sell more product, because what these brands have discovered over the past 10 years when we've had this woke revolution in advertising is that, guess what? This idea of being a non-aspirational brand doesn't work for everybody. This idea that you have to represent the overweight and all the problems in the United States of America and have every single look but attractive wearing your products, it's just not a thing that actually increases sales. And in fact, it decreases sales because it ends up tarnishing your brand. So I hope that, I guess, American Eagle is whatever relatively successful from this, but honestly, I don't care. I'm sure this is a company somebody that I would not like otherwise. And I guess I wish Sydney Sweeney well, but honestly, I don't really care about her all that much, just like I don't care about any actress because I have a regular, ordinary, normal life. But you know what? Those are just my thoughts. I want to know what you guys think about all this down in the comments below. As per usual, if you like this video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social media, support me via the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about rage on the internet over the fact that American Eagle is no longer using obese people to sell product. Till next time.